Good evening, and welcome to Sweet Blessings, the Anna L. Brothers Show and Podcast, where we come to you every Wednesday to inspire, to encourage, and to empower you to live a healthier lifestyle. I'm Anna. I am the host of Sweet Blessings. I'm also an author. I'm a retired school teacher. I am a coach. Um, I never tell people who it is with Total Life changing products, as well as with Melaleuca products, which are eco products. I'm a jewelry consultant uh, as well. I'm the proud owner of the Jazzy Jewels collection, where we put a little jazz in your step with that Jazzy Jewels. And I come to you live with that on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Friday. I am also a certified cake instructor, so I've taught decorating for over 20 years as well. So kind of wide verse, but really and truly, the purpose of this podcast is really not about me, but it's about others and helping others and sharing knowledge and making people more aware of their surroundings and also things just to make their lives better. Okay, we all need something in our lives to make our life better, and sometimes we just don't know everything to make our life better, or there's some things out here that might have a positive effect on us, but we just not thinking about it at that present time. You know what I'm saying? So this evening, I am sounding a little better as far as, remember last Wednesday, I was really, really nasal, but today I'm a little bit better. I believe that I did have a little sinus infection. It's kind of clearing up and stuff like that. But this evening, I am going to talk to you a little bit about mental health issues or challenges that we face, and we all face them. And that, sometimes you hear me say the reason that I started this podcast was because my mother had some mental issues, and I really didn't know how to handle those mental issues. And I was fortunate though that the hospital and stuff that she went to, they had what they call support groups, and I got involved, and so it helped me along the way because I really didn't understand what was actually happening, and so it kind of helped me as well as I hope that it helped my mom. And so because of that, I felt like and I was grown. My mother died at 90, and I had to be in my 60s or so. And I grown, and I had I had seen mental illness, but mental illness had never affected my family per se. Okay, I'm just going to say per se because we all suffer from some type of mental illness. I found out later. So, because of that, I was given the opportunity to do this podcast, and that's basically kind of how this podcast came about because I did not know. Um, and I'm willing to do the research to find out about certain things. And so that's what I did. And that's why I'm here. I'm always looking for people to be on my show. So if you are interested in being on, Sweet Blessing, we do have advertising and sponsors and commercial and guest slots. So you can secure your spot at listing1 at gmail.com or CTR Media Network. as well. So I'm always looking for really ordinary people doing extraordinary things, and I've just been so fortunate. Now I did mention to you that oh dear. I did mention to you that this is my Facebook, y'all. That you watch me on Facebook as well as I thought that was my Instagram because it's very much similar to that one, and also Instagram. I'm on these two platforms as well. So if you want to look me up, they're public platforms. If you want to look me up and follow me on those as well, you are more than welcome to do that. I do have a website. This is my website, so you can contact me there, and you can also contact me at my email there if you have any questions or anything like that. I believe that is all the housekeeping that I have to do for right now. And so, what we're going to do right now is that we are going to take a brief commercial break. And then, when I come back, I'm going to delve into the topic of mental health issues um, that challenge us as individuals. And this is not all of them, don't get me wrong. This is just a few mental health issues that challenge us as individuals as well as communities, because it's just not affect one person, it affects the community as well. So let's take that brief commercial, and then we'll be right back.
Join the She Trucking Foundation today and be a part of a supportive community of women in the trucking industry. Unlock exclusive access to valuable resources, including mentorship, educational workshops, and networking opportunities. Whether you're an experienced professional or just starting your trucking journey, She Trucking is here to empower you and help you thrive. Visit www.shetrucking.com to join us and drive your trucking career to new heights.
Well, I'm back. I'm Anna. I am the host of the Sweet Blessings, the Anna L. Brothers Show and podcast. And this evening, I am going to be talking to you about mental health issues or challenges that face individuals as well as communities. And this was such a perfect time to talk about it because May is mental health issue awareness, mental health is awareness month. And I'm sure if you're out or you're about, you'll see many, many, many um, advertisements or things going on in the month of May for um, mental health. And so let me bring up my slide here. So we want to do understanding common mental health challenges. Now, you all, when I do this slide, it doesn't break up like that. But I don't know. Look like when I get on, it's all broke up. But that's okay because you understand what I'm. It's not about that. It's about the mental health challenges that we are facing today. Not only the physical health problems that we might have, but we also face mental health problems as well. And so, in Mental Health Awareness Month is observed in May each year in the United States. It's a time dedicated to raising awareness about mental health issues, reducing the stigma surrounding mental illnesses, and promoting resources and support for those affected. During the Mental Health Awareness Month, like I just said, you'll see various organizations, mental health advocates, healthcare professionals, and communities hosting events and initiatives to educate the public about the mental health, encouraging conversation about mental illnesses, and provide information on accessing mental health services. So a lot of times I know that when I was growing up, you would see people and they would tell me as a young child, don't mess with that person because they're crazy. But you more than likely just had a mental issue and people just didn't understand it. Just like I feel like that with sometimes with people on the whole in different races and things like that. They just don't understand um, really the similarities or whatever it is, involved, but because they have not been exposed. And it's just like with any other topic, you have to be exposed. I would have never, ever delved into the avenue of mental health uh, if my mother had not developed dementia. Never. I know I would never, ever. But that made me aware of of it. And so I needed to learn more about it in order to be able to facilitate and help her as well as help myself because it's not an easy task for anyone who is a caregiver. All right. So Mental Health Awareness Month. This month aims to emphasize the importance of mental health and wellness for individuals, families, workplaces, and communities because most workplaces will have some type of mental health involvement, some type of workshop or something. It's an opportunity to highlight the prevalence of mental health conditions, the importance of early intervention and treatment, and the significance of self-care and support network. So, throughout Mental Health Awareness Month, you might see campaigns, workshops, panel discussions, social media campaigns, and other activities aimed at fostering the understanding and empathy and support for individuals living with mental health challenges. It's time for solidarity education and advocacy to promote mental health well being and reduce barriers to accessing mental health care. So, I did want to let the people know on Facebook that they can support me by sending stars. And really and truly, the stars help me earn money to make more content. Um, Content that helps me, it just helps me do a lot of things with it. So if you could support me by sending stars, I would greatly appreciate it. Those of you who are on Facebook. And I believe we are going to take another commercial break. And then we are going to come back and we are going to talk a little bit more about mental health issues, challenges.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.
Hello, did I tell you all that I am part of the CTR Media Network, reaching over 350 million households in 100 countries? I am very proud to be a part of that CTR Media Network. Very progressive um, company that is black owned by a black woman. And, her husband is there too. But I am so very, very proud to be a part of that. So let us move on uh, and talk a little bit more about the mental health awareness. So, mental health issues that may face individuals and communities, that many individuals and communities face. Okay. Now, um, and I want to emphasize here that these are just a few of the health issues. There are many. There are many. And that is one of the things that I learned when I was doing the support group for my mother when she had dementia. And then when I started the podcast, and I decided I would do a series. I would do an episode on mental health. And when I did it, I was astounded at how many mental health issues or mental health conditions there are. And so that's why I tell you here that these are just a few, just a few. And these are some of the common ones. Now, if you're interested in knowing more about the mental health issues, um, that was part of a series that I did last year. It is on YouTube. You can go to my YouTube channel, and you can and while you're there you can subscribe to it, but you can go there because what I did was I broke it down, these are some of the common topics that I talked about, but also like depression. There's many types of depression, anxiety disorders. I'm gonna mention a few in some of these. There are many types. Post traumatic stress. There are many types. I don't even think I mentioned in here behavior disorders. And those are people who are have personality disorders, and things like that. So I kind of delved a little bit more into it last year when I did all of that. And I should rerun it, but if I rerun it, I would rerun it on. It's there for the picking. You can go there and listen to it at any time. I encourage you to go there and listen to some of the topics that I talked to. I even have some of the film film or videos that I took while my mother was alive and where she stayed, because I felt like people needed to understand that, and that it was not always like an institution that you would see or they would display somewhere else. They needed to know that their people could be in comfort and have. She had a ball there. I have all kinds of pictures of things and things that was going on, and because you cannot always have your parents. I would have loved to have my mother, with me, but unfortunately, I couldn't because she was like a roamer and would get out and go places, and that's how we kind of found her. So, but here I listed a few of the mental health issues that many individuals and communities face, and some of these you are might be and probably are aware of those. Depression. Now, depression is a mood disorder and is characterized by persistent feeling of sadness, hopelessness, and loss of interest or pleasure in activities. It can be significantly impact daily functions and quality of life. Then we have anxiety disorder. And when I say, I want to go back a little bit and talk a little bit about depression, because as I go over these few things, sometimes you might think that you don't have these, but we all do. We all have some parts of this mental illness. There are times when we all feel depressed. Okay. So, but there are some of us who know how to come out of the depression. And then there's others that can't, or they have difficulty in it. You cannot fault them because that's what makes the world go round. That's what really can kind of really and truly makes us different. Okay. So, because I know I've been depressed. And I don't want anyone on here to think that they have not been depressed, because you have. The next one, anxiety disorder. Now, anxiety disorder involves excessive worry, fear, or nervousness that can interfere with your daily activities. Conditions such as generalized anxiety disorder, panic disorder, and social anxiety disorder fall under this category. Now, remember when I told you at the beginning that each one of these categories have about 6 or 7 things up under them. And so that's what I found out. So that's why I could not do one episode on the mental health last year. I had to expound on all of them. And so people might not think that they have an anxiety disorder, but you do. I can remember many times, and maybe you were in this situation and maybe you weren't, where I was taking an exam, and I'm telling you, I was going through some changes before that exam, and that was anxiety. Going on a trip, and you just like, oh, you're so excited. That is anxiety. So we all suffer some of these. We all do have some of these disorders. We just do. Then we have post-traumatic stress, and that's PTSD, and it can develop after experiencing a traumatic event, such as a combat, natural disaster, an accident, or physical or sexual abuse. Now, the symptoms may include flashbacks, nightmares, hypervigilance, and avoidance behavior. Those are some of like the characteristics that you would see in someone who has post-traumatic stress. That is why when there is an accident, and the paramedics come, they want to work on you immediately because they don't want you to go into shock and stress, because that wears on your health and your mental health as well. All right, let's go on. So, bipolar disorder, and I know many of you have heard of bipolar disorder. Now, that involves alternating periods of depression and hypomania. Now, during the mania episodes, individuals may experience elevated moods, increased energy, and impulsive behavior, while depressive episodes involve feelings of sadness and low energy. Now, I don't think I've been diagnosed as bipolar, but I have these times where I'm very, very happy, and in other times I'm very, very sad. So I think that maybe that's something that um, the doctor or someone probably has to diagnose you with. I've never been diagnosed with that, but I know that sometimes, and then I believe everyone is like that. There are times when we're real, real happy. We're just so elated. We just don't know what to do. Excuse me. And then there are other times, oh Lord, other times we might be depressed. Something has happened. Hi, Latricia's saying hello, hello. How are you? Thanks for hopping on. If you have any questions, feel free to jot them down. I'll be very willing to answer them for you. Um, we are talking about mental health issues that many individuals and communities face. And we cannot leave out schizophrenia. And that is a chronic and severe mental disorder. It is characterized by disturbance in thinking, emotions, and behavior. And symptoms may include hallucinations, delusions, disorganized thinking, and impaired social functioning. Now, I'm going to tell you all a story. You know, I taught school and I taught Head Start, and I taught Head Start for over 20 something years. And we were required by the mandates of the program was we had to have so many special needs children in our classroom. And these were, Head Start is 3, 4, and 5-year olds. They can be 3 and then they'll be 4 soon. And basically Head Start, the difference between Head Start and State Pre is based on income. A Head Start is a federal program that is based upon income to um, help underprivileged children and their families. And I had a little girl in my room. Some days she was so sweet. She was just sweet as pie. And then other days she was just as mean. And when she was mean, she would make loud outbursts. Well, I myself and my assistant, we did not know what was going on with this little girl. But so we referred her to have her tested. And that little girl, she couldn't have been no more than 4, was already schizophrenia. We did home visits. And when we went to her home, she would be sitting in the middle of the floor in a chair, just as sweet as pie, not saying a word or anything. And then she might make a lot of outbursts on something that she thinks she saw or things like that. So, in my course of life, I've learned a great deal about mental illnesses, and it's just not something that um, is prevalent in one race, it's prevalent in all races. And we have got to stop. We've got to help. We've got to stop because it's an illness, just like a cold, just like cancer. It's an illness, and we must stop being critical of it and face it and try to do some things, try to understand it, and try to do some things to help it. It's, like I said, it's never too late. Now, I'm still under mental health issues that many individual substance use disorder. So, you have a lot of that. Substance use disorder involves the recurrent use of alcohol or drugs despite negative consequences. Now, substance abuse can contribute to various mental health problems and exacerbate existing conditions. Now, eating disorders, sometimes people don't think that eating disorders is a mental issue, but it is. Eating disorders such as anorexia, nervosa, bulimia nervosa, and binge eating disorder. Now, remember what I said at the beginning that each one of these topics might have 6 or 7 things that are under it, which makes, I'm telling you, which makes mental illness very big, very prevalent. And you know what worries me? I'm sorry, y'all, my throat is dry. let me finish this and then I'll expound a little bit. Um, those eating disorders, like the binge eating disorder, involves unhealthy attitudes and behavior related to food, weight, and body image. These disorders can have serious physical and psychological consequences. Ooh, it's two misspelled words. Look at me on you. But um, when I say that uh, they have all of these things, they need to kind of look at them and 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 see, because a lot of us struggle with weight. I don't think that I have any of those. I don't do any of those things there, but I do struggle. When I was young, I didn't struggle, but as I got older, I struggle with weight. I struggle. There's several things that I struggle with. Um, eating, eating too much. Um, uh, eating the right things. Limiting my salt. I didn't have to do all those things when I was younger, but now I have to, look into those things. I can't just keep doing all the things that I did in previous years. You kind of have to look at it. Now, many of you all have heard of attention deficit hyperactivity, ADHD. And this one is a neurodevelopmental character, and it's characterized by difficulties with attention. So this is one of the things that you'll hear in schools. You know, he's hyperactive, or he's impulsive. He won't sit still. He doesn't pay attention, or she. I don't want to, he or she. And this one is one that can affect everyone. It can affect the children. It can affect the adults and impact academic, occupational, and social functioning. So, in other words, it can happen on your job. You have those people that just can't seem to get it. You just don't know what people are going through, and people are not going to tell you their business. I hate to tell you that, but they're just not. They're not, because there's shame, and they shouldn't be. Okay, there's shame, and they should not be. And the reason that there's shame is because society has put a stigma on that, and that's what we need to change. Okay, that's what we need to change, is that stigma. So, obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, that one involves intrusive, unwanted thoughts, obsessions, and repetitive behavior of mental acts, compulsions, performed to alleviate anxiety or distress, and it can significantly impair daily life and functioning. So, obsessive compulsive disorder is really a part of anxiety. And like I said, if you really want to get into all of the mental, because I delve into them deeply, deeply, uh, just go to my YouTube, which is down there, and you can just go through all of them. It's quite a bit of them. Like I told you, I could really do a series, but it was important to me um, that I would do that. And then what I found out um, doing that research is what I'm telling you now, is that we all have some form of mental illness. There's no one that does not have it. So the last one I guess I want to talk about is very important: suicidal thoughts and behavior. Suicidal auditions, suicide attempts, and complete suicides are serious mental health concerns that require immediate attention and intervention. They can be associated with various mental health disorders and life stressors. If you know of anyone who is talking or attempting suicide, please call the suicide hotline. They have changed the numbers, y'all. You don't have to do all the numbers. All you have to get on the phone and do is 988. 988 is the hotline for suicide. So you never know, you might be able to save someone's life. So remember that. That is something new. 988 is the suicide hotline. So we're going to take another commercial break, and then we will be right back.
Oh my goodness, the mailman came. I hope my sweet little thing cookie's in here. I just hope it's in here. Let me see. Let me open this up. That's it. That's it. Sweet little thing cookie. That sweet little thing cookie. Oh, I'ma have me a ball now. Let me just get this right here. Little thing cookie. That sweet little thing cookie. Oh yeah. I finally got my cookies. This sweet little thing cookies. Oh yeah. I'ma have fun. This package kinda big though. Man, it got a lot of cookies. Oh yeah, this the best day ever. I'm trying to tell you, I got my cookies, and I'm gonna eat these cookies, and ain't nobody gonna stop me. Wait, what?
Marie, what you doing, man? You can't have those cookies right now. I'm sorry, we about to eat dinner. Once we finish dinner, then you can have those cookies. Go ahead, put them up. Go ahead, put them up.
Are you serious, bruh? I got sweet Lestain cookies, and now I gotta wait for dinner? Fine, can I at least look at the cookies? Thank you. Oh my goodness, I have waited all this time now. I gotta do all this. Fine. Oh yeah. I got my hands on some sweet Lestain cookies. But I can't eat them right now because bruh talking about I gotta wait to dinner. Okay, I'ma do that. But once I finish that, it's gonna be on, y'all.
All right, we are back. I kind of wanted to kind of summarize and reiterate that these are just a few examples of the mental health issues facing individuals and communities. Each person's experience with mental health is unique, and effective support and treatment often involves a personalized approach to their needs. So, in other words, you cannot group everybody who has mental illness under one umbrella. It's just not going to happen. So I just want to remind you, I didn't even look at my notes, I'm just looking at them now. Like I said, if you want to learn a little bit more about the mental health and even my story or the process, you can always go to YouTube, my YouTube channel, which is down there. All of my videos from that time of my life is posted there, as well as the research and things that I did on mental health. And while you're there, would you please subscribe to my YouTube channel? I would greatly appreciate that as well. All right, here we go. So we are going to take one more commercial break, and then I'm going to come back and kind of draw everything, together at the end. And I have wanted to also tell you about my guest who will be on next week. I'm so excited. Seriously, I am very excited um, about that guest. I got to show this one. Okay, we are back. Soul Lady Wigs is one of my sponsors. And I'm telling you, I really like their wigs. They're very nice and thick and full. Um, and I put my link there so you can go there and you can look at their wigs. All right. So I want to say thank you to everyone who attended my podcast this evening. And keep in mind that the purpose of this podcast is to inspire. So I'm hoping that somewhere along the line I inspired you today. Also, it's to encourage you. So I'm hoping that I encourage you to learn or a little bit more about mental illnesses because I think that it's something that is very important. It's not going away. And what I wanted to say was before I could not understand because they used to have mental institutions here where I stay in Illinois, and they closed all of them, so there are no longer um, mental institutions. And what they do now is they have wards in a hospital, and you're only allowed to stay there a certain amount of time, and then you must find someplace for your family member or whoever it is to go and stay. So it is a very traumatic experience. And so I'm truly hoping that I have encouraged you in some kind of way today. And then the other is to empower. I hope that I have empowered you because me going through the trials and tribulations with my mother has empowered me. And that is why I do what I do with this podcast. Helping others is what it's all about. Because if we don't help each other, what's going to happen? So just keep that in mind. And also, I just want to remind you, I do have some upcoming events. Let me put that up here because next week I am going to have Candace Jackson. And I want to let you know that I met Candace maybe way before COVID. And she's a vegan chef, y'all. She has written a book, Nurturing Young Hearts, and has all kinds of recipes. And also she has a planner. She's going to come on next week and talk to us about how she's going to tell us her story, which I'm very much interested. But I will tell you this, that when I met her, very vibrant young lady, and she had her food all set up, and I'm going to tell you, it was delicious. It was delicious. So I intend to get her book because I think that even though I'm not a vegan person, that I feel like we need to have everything in our diet, sometimes. And then that way it causes us not to eat so much red meat and all those other things. And I think what I had with her, they were called chicken nuggets, and they were delicious. It's all plant based. So please tune in next week at 7:30, and she will be on, and she can tell you about her journey and all of those things. So I am going to leave you with my um, I always call it my 3 L's. So I want you to live your life, y'all. Really, live your life. I want you to live your life. The second thing I want you to do is to laugh. Find somewhere to laugh. Laughter is good for you and it's good for the soul. And you feel so much better after you laugh. And then love is the third thing. Love, self-love. Remember that. The most important person that you can love is yourself. And so remember that as well, because you know what? It is hard for self-love, especially I think for a woman, maybe not for a man so much, but for a woman because she has a family, all of those things, that she's trying to carry and do. So keep that in mind. Just remember to love yourself, okay, and give yourself that self-love. And so I want to thank you all for attending and spending a little time with me. And so I am going to go out now with music. You all be blessed. And remember to show some type of act of kindness.